Welcome back to the Weekend Warriors Show Recap Podcast. I'm Ty from the Unemployed Architects. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Anyway, so 3 shows to talk about this last week. I had already talked about the one I did on Friday, kind of in the morning. It was kind of a last minute thing, the last podcast. So I have Saturday I had 2 shows, and then I had a show Wednesday afternoon. So that's kind of where we're at this week. So Saturday morning, I had a tough time getting there and getting everything ready to go. I probably started like 5 or so minutes late, which I don't usually really like to do, but it was, 9 in the morning or 9:30, I guess. So it was tough for me. It was a few blocks from my house. It really shouldn't be that tough to get there, but can never seem to quite get everything done in time, it seems like. But anyway, I was trying a different, I'd bought this, or I'd gotten the seat from the day previous when I was getting that free stuff I was talking about in that last podcast, and it didn't work at all for my cajon. So it was like this cushion that had a back. I thought it might work really nice, but it didn't. So that made everything awkward, and then I didn't quite get the sound check going quick enough, and I don't know, the first 20 minutes were rough, but after that everything kind of evened out, and it was super busy that day. There was a ton of people walking around. Nice day out, a little warm, but couldn't really ask for a better day for the farmers market. So yeah, so I did that, and after that first 20-30 minutes, I still kind of felt like it didn't sound quite right, but I got a lot of compliments, and Kev, the old bass player, came, probably not really to see me, but he ended up and was there with his wife Kendall, and it was just cool to kind of catch up with them a little bit. I got them one of the new records, which so it was good, and I was kind of slacking really on everything that morning because I didn't tear down. They had some big event after, I think, which is why it might have been a little bit busy on that day. But everything went well. I mean, I did good in the tip realm, and got lots of good feedback. So I mean, really can't complain about anything at all. Just about me being late was about it. Maybe somebody else would complain about that. I don't know, but I played a little extra at the end, so to kind of even it out, to make it a solid 2-hour set. The bathrooms weren't so far away. It would have probably started more close on time, but you have to walk like all the way around. And of course, I'd been chugging water all morning to try to get my voice up to snuff and whatnot. So, but I felt good. I tried some weird stuff. Was feeling loose, but a little off, but not anything that was too terrible. And then I had a little bit of a rest, and then I had to go up to Cadillac Jack's, which I called my record release, but it's really just because that's when the records happened to get here. And it was busy at first. There was a good crowd right away, and but they all left. There was some big outing that they were all going to, and got pretty thin there in the middle. But there was a few different people that had seen me before. My good friend Mike Emmons came out, which was nice. He was there for like the first probably hour and a half, something like that. So that's always nice, but I usually end up just trying to play songs he hasn't heard me play. And since there wasn't like a big crowd or anything, it wasn't like that big of a deal to try some weird stuff. And I don't know, it was fun. I did one of my newer covers that I like a lot, called Goodnight Chicago by Rainbow Kitten Surprise, and he really got a kick out of that one, so that made me happy. So I usually get a kick out of playing it. It's one of my probably new favorite songs to play. Doesn't always go amazing, but that's how it always goes with the new songs, original or cover. It takes a while to kind of get them set in, but if I get it just right and I'm feeling it, I think I even messed up the words quite a bit on that one, but it got me kind of in the zone, and I was feeling pretty good. And then I don't know. So it was weird. About a little over half, maybe like right before Mike left, I was getting kind of. I don't know if my ears were just fatigued or something, but it's like I couldn't hear it quite right, and everything got a little weird. It's also weird doing when the double show days because you're not. I'm not used to being that warmed up. So when I'm used to, having to maybe push a little harder or something at the beginning. So at a certain point, I was maybe too warmed up. But I don't know. I remember I did Superstition by Stevie Wonder and it didn't go great, and Hero by Bowie. And Bowie, that's a new song, so that one's hit or miss a lot of the time anyway. But I just wasn't quite feeling it right on the vocal, but that happens. What can you do? Just got to roll with the punches, I guess. And then it was thinned out for a little bit, but there was a couple that had seen, back in the day when we were the Unemployed Architects, like the original lineup with Blair and Kev and Big D, and they were both saying, they remembered us from way back then and asking about everybody, and I talked to them for a while, and that was nice in one of my breaks. And at the end, it started to get pretty busy again. I didn't sell any records, so that was kind of a bummer, but I did sell my first one pretty recently at a different show. But it's going to be a long road to get those all paid back, but it just directly goes into my recording fund to try to get more content out there. So anyway, so got busier at the end, met some new people that seemed to be kind of into what I was doing, and then so it was fun. It was a good night, and then there was karaoke after, which was fun to watch people get really into that, and probably more so than my set, but it was, I don't know, it's entertaining to watch people go hard at the karaoke. I've never been a karaoke guy, but anyway, so so that was the Saturday night show. Busy day. I was pretty exhausted after all that, and it's 5 hours of music in one day, which is fun but long at the same time, with the setup and the teardown and the setup and the teardown. But so then I didn't have a show till Wednesday, and that was it was called a Lunchtime Concert Series, and the weather was just not great. Ultimately, it was nice. I mean, it wasn't too hot, but I actually did a radio interview on the Monday to promote it too, which was interesting because I always feel weird on those things. But it was a phone. If it would have been in person, I would have felt a little more comfortable. And it was I want to say it was at 12:30 or 1:30 or something, which I don't know if I'm good at talking to people that early in the day anyway. I feel like it takes a while. I don't get up too early or anything. I usually stay up pretty late, so my 8 hours is probably different than other people's 8 hour nights of sleep. But anyway, so it felt a little weird on the radio, but I did okay. But then it was kind of a bummer that the weather kind of turned out the way it did, because I feel like there probably would have been more people that, and there were some. I mean, there were some that toughed out because it kept raining on and off. It wasn't pouring or anything, but, and then my mom and my nephew came, which was cool to have them there, and got to go out to lunch with them after. I mean, the show went fine. It just, they had a nice big stage, and they had a roof, so I wasn't really worried about my gear, which was nice. But definitely hurt the crowd a little bit as far as how many people probably would have been out in that area. But and something's been a little weird too. I mixed up my. I'm finding out that my JBLs, I have two of the JBL stacks that are both the same model and everything, but I'm finding that they're different mixes, kind of, which they shouldn't be. They should be, exactly the same. But if I plug my vocals into one and have the same mix in the other one, and I compare back to back, it doesn't sound the same at all, which is weird. I don't really know why, but if I put it in the right series, it still is good, because I did that for Cadillac Jacks as well. But when I was mixing that day at Wednesday, that Wednesday afternoon lunchtime thing, I must have mixed them up at some point, because I just felt like my vocals weren't really, they just weren't cutting through right. I kept having to push the low end. But if I put them in the right ones, that's the one I use when I just do my solo shows. So I'm really used to that one for vocals. The other one works good for guitars. But anyway, it wasn't necessarily any show. It wasn't a show to like write home about or anything, but it was fun, and it was it was an event. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if I really have much else going on. Ryan Wolf staying with us right now. He's working on an album while he's here, which has been fun to hear kind of his process and stuff as he's doing it. He might come on and guest host this a few times at some point, so that'll be cool to have him. But yeah, other than that, not a whole lot. I mean, I'm just Monday, I'm gonna be in the studio. I'm gonna be really trying to mix and master the TV set for the album release. So, because I'll be releasing that as a live album down the road, working on a way to get the videos, kind of video cuts, so I can put the single songs on YouTube as like a playlist. So I'll be able to send that to the bookers and I'm gonna of course edit in the remixed and mastered audio, so it'll sound better, and it'll be the same audio that's on the actual CD. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But that's kind of the next thing to knock off the list, I guess. Other than that, I don't really know. I don't really have much. I'm very booked so far. It's been a very busy June. July's the same. At the end of this month, I got a little tour that I'm doing to Michigan and back. And then July is pretty packed to the brim. Got a new place in Iowa I'll be at in July, so that'll be cool. And then my only open date's a date in August, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get that filled. And I think I have a morning show that day, so really, if I didn't, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I'm always trying to maximize my ability to get shows and play shows. So yeah, I think that's gonna should be easy enough to get that date filled. But I say that, and then it's gonna creep in, and then September I got every date booked that I'm available, and then I'm starting on October, and I've got a few shows booked in October. So it's been pretty fruitful on the booking front, but it usually is this time of year. So it'll be, if I can get the rest of the year booked before the summer's out, I think I'll be in good shape. And then my plan is I'm going to use all the TV set that I did and the live album and the live videos to send out to a bunch of festivals. I've been keeping track of festivals on my Facebook. Just kind of anytime I see one, I'll screen grab it. And so in December, January of this year, next year, I'm going to be sending out those emails hard. And since I'll have the TV thing, hopefully with the multi-camera angle and the good audio, I'm hoping that I'll be able to secure a lot more of those for next year, and hopefully that will kind of open it up to just having my more all original shows, and then getting more of hopefully a following for those types of all original shows and all original songs. That would be great. So that's my game plan this year. I don't really know if it's gonna work. It's kind of always just a guessing game, and I think it's a good plan, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And if it doesn't work and I can't get booked at a bunch of these festivals, I'll just try to get the same shows I always get, so it won't really just be extra work. But I'm always down for that, so no big deal. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. This next week I'll have a couple shows. I know Saturday I'm playing at where am I? Saturday. Oh, I play Decatur. It was Decatur. And then Friday I'm at Houdini Spirits in Leroy. And then Saturday I'm at Golden Fox Brewing in Decatur. And that last time I played there was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping to kind of repeat that if possible, but can't really force that to happen, so we'll see. But anyway, that's what I'll be talking about next time. And as always, I appreciate anybody who takes the time to listen. And I will talk to you soon. All right.